Okay, Casey vs Team Liquid was a very, very interesting match. I would have to say, like in terms of performance, right? In terms of how I evaluated things, I think Jungle was the rough one here for Yike. He had a very, very good game 2 performance, but he couldn't find the angles. I think if anybody deserves MVP here is Team Liquid and their preparation. I do think that their preparation was a really, really big advantage here, because I do think the 2 drafts took Casey out of their comfort and into Team Liquid's comfort, which of course is everything. A big concern of mine for Casey at this tournament was that they had very little time to actually prepare. Very little time to prepare, very little time to adjust to the patch. And I think Team Liquid, they have shown that they are very, very good in terms of preparing for tournaments, and they can start off on the right foot, right? There's certain elements that you don't do again, is that this draft, they first pick Vi and enemy gets Maokai Varus with Kalista out. That's something that should be unacceptable. I think Maokai is Giga winning against Vi, Varus Giga winning against Ezreal, and unless you trade Kalista Varus in a non-lane swap meta, I think that you should never be in a position to do this, right? So the matchups are hard. And also, you put yourself in a position where just because you pick Vi, you need to pick Aurora, which also puts APA in its comfort zone, right? And I think that's super, super important. In game 3, the same thing. You have a situation where Victor is out, Azir is out, and the main key thing here is that Vladi doesn't want to play Orianna, and that, of course, is the answer here. If enemy first picks Talia, you need to be ready to play Orianna, Nocturne, play in that direction, right? Maybe you drop the Jarvan again, something like this. But with the Talia first pick, Zinza Ari comes through, it doesn't become like the easiest game to play, right? It's not the easiest game to play. So I do think that prep-wise, Team Liquid, a big edge that they had coming into the matchup, even though I thought that KC would be better, is that they have so much bot lane matchup knowledge. And I'm going to highlight how little of that KC experience is shining through. Obviously, they played together, but playing together at an ELL level, they basically played one split in LFL and EMA Masters, and then they played this winter split, which is short. But all in all, like the matchup knowledge really shined through here for Team Liquid. So taking a look at the game, especially in game 1, I think the key thing is just that the fight awareness of Liquid was in general pretty damn good. I think that Kana had a good performance, had really good circumstances for himself in the game, but I do feel like Team Liquid, this fight in particular really put them ahead. I think in moments like these, when you're playing Aurora, you need to be willing to drop waves to just create a fight here. If you're not willing to take this fight, I think that over time, it's just going to get worse and worse for you. So Umti is invading the red buff here, Yike is taking his golems, and then he's going to look to cross. Targamas is hugging the wall, and there's already vision. He puts the pink down, and then he snaps. Tristana's hovering, Aurora's on the wave, and in the end, the Q flash happens, but KoJJ just fucking Qs. I don't know if this is like a fucking prediction. Take a look at this Q here from KoJJ. He Qs, and then Yike is flying, and then he just gets Yike in the air, bro. Umti survives because of this. He gets to phase rush and flash away with Nimble's cloak. Vladi is late to the situation. APA was trapping him, and this was very well played by APA too. But already from this point onward, it's going to be very hard for Casey to actually contest anything, right? Very difficult for them to contest anything because Varus is stronger on the mid wave. Ezreal is super far behind, which means that Nautilus and Maokai can be first to any situation on side. And obviously Team Liquid is they are playing champions that scale super well. A big pain point of playing Jace in stand matchups against tanks, and why tanks are being picked into Jace, is exactly because of circumstances like these. Any tank you can think of, whether it's Malphite, Ornn, Sion, all of these champions have good setup, and Jace needs to play very aggressively to pressure. Here you can argue, of course, against Kana, because in this moment grubs are spawning, so him keeping good conditions is very important. So him getting comboed here obviously is not a good thing, but it's still a fine thing to highlight here. Kana playing for plating. Imagine he just pushed and left, and then he could have been in good conditions for grubs, which is super important. Casey must know they were not on the bot wave. Yeah, they invited that fight. They wanted to take that fight. There was like one good moment, I think, from Targamas where he found a little snap onto Yeon. I think that was the main positive play from KC. Yike just hitting the dragon here, but then the collapse came through from enemy red side. APA already hitting side. APA in the AD carry meta when the Koki Tristana was played a lot. APA was very, very good at managing his economy on champions like Tristana. Team Liquid did a good job. Like whenever their 4 is strong, I do think that Team Liquid macro-wise is very good. So I think the main thing you have to target always for Team Liquid is making sure that you have a winning bot matchup, because I think that like in terms of spreading pressure through bot lane, I think Team Liquid is really, really good at this. And that's why I praise them so much in my champion like player tier list. Obviously my player tier list looks pretty funny now because Kanavi and Yike played pretty damn bad. Kanavi and Yike over Peanut, Omega Lul. I can take it. No problem. I deserve it. This is a part of the game. This is what makes it fun, you know? So the tournament's still young, so I'm hoping the take redeems itself. But we have to see. We have to see. We continue. So Yai gets caught here after trying to steal the dragon. This is where the play from Targamas comes onto mid-wave, where he snaps on Yeon, which is pretty good. I think this was like the main like positive play here, where KC converged super well on the mid-wave after taking the objective. Really good eyesight on the cannon wave that is coming. Big shutdown for Kana. This was pretty damn good. Let's take a look at the game-deciding fight, and then we'll move on to game 2, because we don't have a lot of time. And we want to make it brief and clean. I think the main pain point, right, is the Team Liquid's composition. I think that they have so many non-committal engages, so they can always fish for fights, and if they don't occur, they can always kind of just walk away, which is super, super cool. They have the YamatoCannon, of course, here in this spot. In the end, Yeon is going to be withdrawing, but I think that it's pretty much all she wrote, right? It's like we have a collapse here. Jace is showing on the bot pink, so Team Liquid just want to converge here and repeat with the Ornn ult and everything. It's kind of deja vu from the spot. Kalist ease away, which is nice. It's just Team Liquid can just keep rotating this. They have full prio, and then whenever they can converge, Maokai ult into Ornn ult. Does it land? No. Okay, walk away. Does it land? Let's play. You know, it was a very, very clean process for Team Liquid. Yeah. Which is nice. A big thing to highlight, right, is like I have been a very, very big critic of Team Liquid, right? Sorry, of Umti in particular. And Umti had a solid series today. I think that very, very passable. And when he does, it seemed like the games are super easy for Team Liquid, because obviously the ball lane is still really, really damn good. Let's take a look at this one. After Yike. And Kana died. Here we go. The Q. And then the ult follow up onto Kana. He gets rooted. And that is game. Okay. The game number 2. Let's fast forward to it. Here I think that the draft from red side is definitely weaker. We didn't talk about this one in regards to the prep, but here I think that Azir is just a better quality champion than Aurelion Sol. I think that having a skill matchup top in Camille versus Ambessa is very positive for Ghana. I thought I don't mind the misfortune here because Ezreal is out. Misfortune here is good to pick in my opinion, because you just want to make sure that you have a strong bot lane matchup. You don't want to be in a situation where this Ashe and fucking Pantheon take over the game again. So you pick MF for the matchup because all things considered, Azir, Sejuani, Camille, these are champions that of course scale super, super good into this game. So you just want to have lane power to enable your support. So I like the MF pick. Here also, good to highlight, is Skana got Giga nerfed. I think Skana is definitely a lot weaker. And Yike had a tremendous Sejuani performance. It was just gank after gank after gank, everything kind of landing, and then the massive 3v3, the 2v3 on top side that kind of just broke the game open that we can highlight. Let's continue. Let's find that highlight moment. And also we had this APA just trying to crash the wave on time, doesn't get it. So he gets punished by Voladi, which is very, very nice. Vladi just keeps stabbing here with Azir. He goes all the way while APA greeds for one more CS. I think if he didn't go for that CS, I think all would have been fine and dandy, you know? Fine and dandy. this cleanses the ignite. Let me just show you guys the neck breaker here. Team Liquid do a very, very good job still of fighting back bot lane, right? It's like Sejuani is investing time in the bot, and Ashe and Pantheon is getting the better base in a 2v3 situation, while Umti is getting level 6. Really, really good shift from Team Liquid's bot lane. Team Liquid hits the grubbies. I think the 3v3 here it comes up. Look at this one. This is just what wins them the game, right? On top of the Vladi, the solo bolo. Kana ults, fights back, and then Umti drags him, and then he doesn't connect him into the wall. And then flashing the public execution, Kana buys time, flashing the public execution, Umti also doesn't get the ult, so no value from the Umti ult. The Umti ult is quite bad. The value from Kana's flash here is just too big. Both of them are just using these modern ultimates as older players onto a more nimble Kana. And off of this, right, it's just Kana spacing super well, playing on QCD, not being in any range to get attacked on, and then the E stack, the hook shot into the E stacks of Sejuani, super nice. And then finally here, the kiting from Kana, being just outside of range. This is absolutely beautiful, bro. Absolutely beautiful. And then they find the CC again, the W heal into auto, into stun, into Zgadoosh. This was 2v3. Leona's just recalling in the bush. He's just watching his teammates completely smurf it. Let's take a look at game number 3. Game number 3, I think, is probably like the most educational one and highlights, you know, the differences in my mind between the experience, Rhea looking handsome and beautiful as ever. We continue with jump in. So the bot lane matchup, the way my read of this is Zeri and Yuumi, they need to get an advantage from level 1, 2, 3. They are stronger, they have an additional summoner spell. I think that they should look to trade HP and look to make this lane as volatile as possible. Nami spells cost a lot of mana, and if Team Liquid can get a clean base, level 3, 4, 5, 6, this is where Lucian Nami become very, very strong, in my opinion. If you can get the serrated Dirk or a pickaxe base, your poke begins to be very, very strong. And then then Zeri, Yuumi need to wait until they get 6 again, and then they need to just all in swing whenever Lucian dashes and commit all the way. So they become like the melee matchup in this range, because obviously Lucian Nami is just going to play on poke. But it's very clear. I thought that KC bot lane had some opportunities to trade a little bit harder, especially with the Zap auto. And there were moments, for example, here. I don't know why Kalista is walking back. Here, Kalista is walking back. Why is Kalista walking back? They both use spell. No JJ spell, no Yeon spell. I think this is just a situation of maybe Kalista and Targamas didn't play enough Yuumi Zeri, right? It's like here, Yeon uses spell, this guy uses spell, you have zap and spell, and you can fight back and maybe even burn its cleanse here with an exhaust. Like you exhaust the auto as it's flying, and you fight back here, could be really, really fucking good, right? Like here, Team Liquid are really, really playing a dangerous game, in my opinion. We continue. Eventually, Team Liquid, they win the push, and KC gets some nice Qs in. Right, they get some really, really nice Qs in, and Targamas goes out of Zeri to hit. Then eventually, I feel like KC's bot lane realize how fucking strong they are, and they begin to hard contest. Targamas was fucking hitting every Yuumi Q, and it added up very fast. And CoJJ in the end had no mana here. Kalist dash forward to hit CoJJ, and then I think in the end here Yeon just gets snacked on. Let's take a look at the solo queue. Yeah, it's weird because I think like we realized this after testing 2v2 immensely. Like how you won with Sivir Yuumi against Lulu lanes was that you all in level 1 with Sivir Yuumi, as an example. Obviously, the power level of Yuumi has changed a little bit, but I still think it remains true. Like Team Liquid, like what you hope to do with Lucian Nami is to do short trades, and never be in a situation where you're all in, because KC's bot lane just has a lot more gas, you know? So this was a nice kill in the end, and then CoJJ needs to flash. I think the majority of this game comes down to just the fight that happened on ramp, which was such a game changer. Keep in mind here that APA burnt Flash earlier, and they're going to look for this fight angle. I just want you guys to also notice the economy here. So Umti has ult, and also Yike has no item. So Umti has item, no item on Zeri, no item on Yeon, and the big advantage is the fact that Kana has item, but there's no TP on top side. They're trying to punish the fact that Talia has no flash. But here you see the power of the composition of TL is that they are the ones playing the kiting game. And they are playing the kiting game, and here I believe that Zinzao is nearsighted. I don't know if he's playing on the rocks because he doesn't, or maybe he doesn't see APA here, so he can't E, but they can't connect with him, and he gets away. The E comes through when the rocks disappear, and he gets in vision range. So it could be mixed, but the moment the moment APA gets away here, they don't have damage to do anything in the fight. You know, nothing to do in the fight. Vladi ults in an awkward way, and KC just tried to commit forward to try to get the damage in to finish them. But Team Liquid kites super well, and the Nocturne here with the Hextech plate is doing so much damage. And I think after that, I think honestly the game is really difficult. I think Team Liquid, in terms of their fight awareness, looked a lot better here than they did regionally, which is a big plus. But I repeat, the recipe is always, we're most likely not going to get NA versus EU again. That kind of sucks. So NA get to ride the coattails of this one for a very long time. I think APA, the champions he does play, really good. The champions he doesn't play look pretty fucking awful. Talia is on the list of champions he can play really well. So I think that the big thing for me is still Team Liquid, bot lane, really fucking good. I'm excited to watch them play. Yeon Ko JJ versus Jackie Love Crisp is going to be super interesting. Even against Viper Delight is going to be fucking interesting. So I'm excited for that. Big thing for TL is that Umti actually performed today. So, you know, fair play. If Umti plays well, I'm going to say he plays well. If he play like shit, I'm going to say he play like shit, like I treat any other player. It was just, Umti was really pissing me off when it came to, of course, his regional performance. Okay, let's take a look at the second series. We have a little bit of time left. Let's take a look at the second series. We have How Alive vs Top Esports, Poppy, Varus, Nidalee, Kalista, Jace, Rumble. The Skarner first pick. I think here, Azir, Ezreal, Jax, Alistar, like this whole draft is just designed to make Vi as weak as possible. I think it's really good that both teams are aware of the power of Varus and Kalista, and these are trade bans that occur. But the Skarner Prio, you know, it is what it is. I think that, Peanut on Skarner looked solid, looked good, still has the tool on E, on R, good all-rounder that buys Giants belts. It seems like Skarner seems okay. His solo game ratio went to shit, 5% minus, which I thought was very heavy-handed. But in this game, Skarner was doing Skarner things still. So MF gets picked. I was very surprised. I thought this is a very easy Kaiser spot. Very easy Kaiser spot in my opinion. I didn't like the misfortune lock in here too much, and I think that fact alone, MF into this composition and Vi against very mobile Azir, Ezreal, and then of course Jax and Alistar and Skarner. These are champions don't care too much about Vi. And then Leona gets picked on 4 into Alistar, and then Cannon gets picked because they want to have an answer. Cannon is slightly better against Jax than what he used to be due to no lane swap, but if you keep TP and do what he did in this game, you can get out of the matchup and still save your economy. So let's take a look at that. There was a beautiful 3v3 that happened. Beautiful 3v3 that happened that I wanted to highlight. It just kind of wakes you up to how big of a difference there is in the player gap when it comes to these two teams and the previous teams that we watched. But it's like the devil is in the details. Here, I think, as I mentioned before, Zeus managed to get a cheetah base in, has no magic mantle, and then kept TP after crashing, and then he TP'd bot for the swap, and here Ezra and Alistar are showing up. Is Xeon just better than Kalista? I think so, yeah. I thought so before the tournament too. I like Kalista a lot. Like, people are going to view that as an insult, bro. I'm traumatized by how some fans are reacting to my commentary. But Like Yeon was better for me than Kalisk coming into the tournament. Yeah, like people like Yeon and Masu maybe our top 2 ADCs in the West, bro. Like with how they performed last year. I'm in the position where I watch all major regions except the LCP. You know, I think that these, like a player like Yeon deserves a lot of respect. Okay, let's take a look at this. So Zeus kept TP, right? He got the cheater base in and he kept TP, and now we're back in standard swap scenarios, right? And now we had the situation on top side with Cannon bases and TP's bot. And I just wanted to show you guys this 3v3, bro. Look at this 3v3. The light with the ugly combo to start it off. And now Kanavi is crossing in. It's coming up soon, the 3v3 that I'm talking about right here. Here we go. Look at this, bro. Look at this beauty. Crisp, kiting the light back. The ult here from Peanut to catch Vi midair. And then the ult straight onto, of course, Alistar, who flashed in previously. And then the flash out, and look at Viper as he weaves in his abilities. Bah. Bro, everyone played this so damn well, bro. Everyone played it so good. It was beautiful to see. Let's take a look at this next fight that happened topside too. Another fucking beautiful display of mechanics. Take a look at this one. Kanavi Qs onto Delay and chooses not to ult onto Viper here because Viper is holding E and so forth. I think in the end, like, blowing all spells on Delay to burn his ultimate is not the way. And then Kanavi, like, at some point they just needed to burn the Ezreal E and his summoner somehow. He's having too much freedom. They're putting too much respect on the shift. And they needed to fucking attack him somehow. Because they used too much tools onto the Alistar. Peanut connects onto, of course, Kanavi. Kanavi is going to ult onto Delight just to buy time and to push Peanut away, which I don't think is a crazy thing to do. But Viper during this entire sequence is just doing so much damage. Like, he's just shooting fish in a barrel. Straight up. Top esports find ways to fight back to make a comeback play on a cross map into bottom side, but I want to fast forward to the moment where Zeka just kind of wins the game. Like here is also another educational moment where you see top esports are not in a position to fight the spawning objective, and they are not playing to exit. They are instead posturing for some awkward fight that is not happening, and they always end up in positions that are very, very strange. And then the contrary when it comes to How Alive, when they know they're not in a position to fight, they take the objective and exit. Okay, let's highlight now Zeka's monster play. This is the moment of top esports, I believe, are just not in a position to fight. And Crisp. Is it this one? I think it's this one, yeah. Hey, look at top esports, bro. Come on now. This is not a position to fight. Like, look where your homies are. And you're going into the pit. Here you want to exit. Get over the wall with Kanavi. Q over the wall. Leave. Peace out. You know, you're not in a position to fight. You know, like, what the hell is Chris doing? He's just committing to the play. It's just crazy, bro. And now, let me just fast forward to this juicy Zeka play. On the flip side, right, it's like top esports as a team. What's good about them is that they are willing to just pull the trigger like they do, right? Like here, Zeus is on the spot and overcommits and passes the do not cross line. And then, of course, the position of Zeka is just way too late to the situation. Cream manages to zone Viper out and he can't play. And they punish the back line. So top esports, they take every fight. So they're really, really good. Really, really good at fighting. But it also means that they take every fight, which always isn't the greatest, right? Let's continue. This moment here where Zeka practically wins the whole game. Look at this beautiful find here. Look at this. What a fucking read. What a read. This is a crazy read. I don't know if it was a read, honestly. It might just be the fact that he's looking to shuffle Jackie Love when he's approaching the tower. But Kanavi queues over to take the camp, and he just gets the perfect angle to get him over the wall. And then he blocks his Vi ult by Eing instantly. And sure, you could say Kanavi could R the R, but it's very hard to react, bro. You don't fucking expect this shit at all. Like, you're there to cue the chickens, and then it's like, damn. What is this big yellow chicken? It's like, I do think that Zeka is going here. It's like he sees Vi, right? I'm just saying, to be in this position in the first place, he's looking for a play, you know? And then just look at all these chickens. And then, of course, Zeka needs to insta-E, because otherwise Kanavi gets an exit. And this led to Nash. And then Topi's was trying to fight it. And then the game just exploded. And then they got fucking out the count too. And the game was over, right? Really, really nice from our life. Game number 2, I honestly thought that the draft looked better for Topi Esports. I saw the Kalista Renata playing Poppy against that is very, very hard in lane. I thought that the matchups looked fine for Topi Esports. They have the Nocturne Oriana, which isn't the greatest into Akali and Aatrox, but still, I thought the Topis will be able to win this game because it doesn't look like a easy game for our life to execute on, right? But even though it isn't easy, our life is very good at executing things that are hard. This was a back and forth. I think the top esports, I wanted to highlight how fucking clean their dive was, but we can also highlight Kanavi's gank. HLE won with Peanut on Nidalee. Peanut Nidalee is legendary. Peanut Nidalee was a big reason why I wanted to put Peanut first on my tier list, but decided not to. Peanut Nidalee is a win ratio machine. Peanut Nidalee is better than Cannon Nidalee. I said it. This split. But look at this play here from Kanavi. Delight has E, and he just goes into the tower, bro. And then the beautiful Q into E combo, because it's very hard to E the Poppy on this range. And then Kanavi just gives a kill. And then Peanut is going to carry the game, right? Peanut's going to cross, push him out of the camps. Kanavi's in trouble, 16 CS, lose the topside camps, and Nidalee's going to be so fed. But on the other side, take a look at this dive bot. Look at JackeyLove and Crisp here. You're like, oh, ooh, looking dangerous. Crisp takes one more turret shot, and then the rend timed with Crisp getting the reset. Bah. It's just fucking crazy. Crazy. The rest of the game is pretty much just how a life fight montage. I think in terms of how they space and use their HP bar as a resource is just too damn good. How they converge on positions and how they play off each other is just so damn clean. It's so fucking clean. Let me show some of those fights. You're not sure what Zeka was thinking by fighting under the turret. But Zeus also had a crazy moment where JackeyLove is dashing, is trying to dodge Zeus, but he gets finally the flash Q3 there. The Q3 flash, sorry. And Zeus gets out of a bad spot. And 369 is weak siding on the other side. There's this fight on midwave that I really want to show you guys. The one I really wanted to talk about. This is kind of a good diff, like Zeka pushed the wave, right? And the enemy is losing mid turret for it, and Zeka's buying a lot of time. He ults out eventually, but he has Oriana Ball. Yeah, Peanut Nidalee was a little bit cursed in previous years for sure. But this year, Peanut Nidalee has been good. This year. Look at this. Look, as just a Peanut Nidalee, a hater from previous years. Take a look at this sequence here. So he meows, 369 gets rooted, he's trying to get the wave. And then look at this beautiful flash that Peanut lands here as Nocturne connects with him. The fear is tethering, and then boom, flash onto the plant. And then he just W's over the wall cleanly. Beautiful. Damn. Here I think you can highlight how strong the potential of Blue Side's composition is, because I thought, when I looked at this, I thought Topis was just going to get wiped here. It's just Zeka missing E's, the first E misses, and then he goes a little bit again, and then JackeyLove just dancing on very, very low HP, and Viper's Flash being quite bad, but the Varo suit landing on 3, I thought they're going to get wiped here, it was extremely close. Let's take a look at this next midway fight. I think that's the one that is so crazy. Kanavi takes the Orianna ball, sends it. Varus flashes before Nocturne lands just to gain distance from the Orianna ult. If you want to survive the Orianna Nocturne combo, flash the Orianna ult, not the Nocturne. And make sure that you flash in the direction where you're going to be safe from the Nocturne, because that's what you need to survive in the end. So here, he flashes the Orianna ult, Kanavi falls, doesn't have the damage. Gragas delivers the Aatrox into his whole team. But it's just look how everybody converges so beautifully, you know? Zeus dodging the Renata ult was also super nice. And that is all she wrote. How alive. Congratulations. You have won first stand. You have won first stand, brothers. My homie Mowgli going for his second international title. Congratulations to him. God bless. Okay. I really like this type of fight understanding here, right? It's like a lot of players here, if they are Aatrox, they're gonna keep fighting. But the moment Nocturne dives deep, Aatrox is kiting back to not give free damage and trade hits with Jakilov, which is super cool. And then he kites, he flashes to try to get the reset. And GG. Final thing we want to do is look at the tomorrow's matchups. CFO versus KC. KC, you know, from what I've seen from CFO, I do think KC should be able to win. But CFO, you can't underestimate them. They have good mechanical players. They fight well. So KC really need to be on point when it comes to the macro game. Today, they got kind of out macroed and out prepped by Team Liquid. And this is where they need to fight back. I'm hoping for a better performance from Vladi and Yike. I think this is crucial. And I think that this series today really showcased like champion priorities, you know, with Yon and Victor out. It definitely put a strain on Vladi's champion pool a little bit more, because Azir was out, Talia was picked away here in the last game. Victor, Yon, Azir out, and then Talia pick away was a tough one, especially where Vi is out and Ari Zinzao is not the greatest combo. So this is something they need to, of course, pay attention to. They cannot underestimate CFO. Team Liquid vs Top Esports, you know, I think that some of the things that HLE did today to win is not something that TL is going to have a super easy time replicating. I think the key thing for me when it comes to Top Esports is like they play with a pacing that is insanely good. Team Liquid showed a lot of good macro qualities, and I think for me, TL can win if they somehow win the bot matchup. And I think that even though Crisp and Jakilov I think can be better players than Yeon and KoJJ, I do think that Yeon and KoJJ are very smart at picking the right champions. If we just look at Team Liquid's match history, right? They had like beautiful Varus, like they had a Varus Zyra game. That's fucking beautiful, right? They really know how to pick the right combos, like the Lucian Nami today. And if they get the good draft, if they get a good draft for both where they can maintain initiative, and the enemy picks MF Lulu, for example, then I think the Team Liquid can upset Top Esports and win. So pay attention to the bot lane matchup, because that's the key for Team Liquid for them to enter deeper.